So I've been around a long time and being in the industry, and it's not that often that a kid walks onto the court and you go, 100%, this kid's going to make it. 100%, I have no doubt. And I remember working with Yelena Dokic, and she walked onto the court and I said, look, I've got this cool thing, this little reaction ball. And it's a great thing to work on your split step and your reaction. And I remember her looking me in the eyes and going, what's the record? And I said, 25 without a miss. 40 minutes later, we start the lesson. She, let's go again. Let's go again. Let's go again. I never forget it. And I remember meeting that girl. She had that eye of the tiger, and I said, that girl is going to make it just because she does things like that. That's how she thinks. She didn't think, she was 12. She didn't think like a 12-year-old. So I never forget that. It was a really great story about someone who you just go, you know what? I'm putting my money on that girl. I remember working with Monica Sellers. I worked with 10 days at her house. What an honor that was to work with her. What an amazing, here's the interesting thing. She was so soft. Hi, Dave. How are you going? So nice to meet you. She'd been out, obviously, she had that terrible injury, and she was just coming back, getting ready for the French Open, I think. Her dad was really sick, which was really sad. But anyway, I remember, and she said, oh, I like to do shadow tennis. I really like to do shadow tennis. But if you don't mind, can you stand and have balls behind your back? When I go like this, I'll hit a forehand. When you go like this, hit a backhand. When I go like this, I'll run around and choose to hit a forehand or a backhand. So anyway, so she was soft, she was speaking like this. And then I remember saying, okay, you ready? And she started to do this. And her eyes turned back, and she became this beautiful little soft angel into this incredible beast. She'd go, and then she'd finish going, and she'd look at me, and I went, whoa, my, wow. I have never in my whole life ever seen anyone shadow like that. And it was incredible because I didn't have to say anything. I'm just pointing. She said, please make sure you don't tell me anything. I need to motivate myself. It was incredible. I've never seen, and she could actually see in her eyes that she was playing a match. So it was incredible. That was the one thing I took away from her, is her self-motivation, her self-discipline, and her visualization. It was incredible. Here's another incredible experience of mine. There was a girl called Ines Gorosategi from Argentina. And she was playing the lead up to the New South Wales Open, which is back then, it was the lead up to the Australian Open. And I remember I was with the state squad, I was with this young girl, Evie Domanizovic, and I'm stretching her on the side of the court. And I see Ines Gorosategi walk onto the tennis court, and she's walking around, and her hitting partner doesn't turn up. So she walks up, so she's got, okay, I've got half an hour to the court by myself. So she walks to the tee, and she starts doing this shadow tennis, and she's splitting and she had this real choreographed shadow tennis. She would do the shadow, she'd look at her strings, walk around the net, come back in and do the next routine. So what was incredible was there's all these people at the New South Wales Open. Well, suddenly the fence was 10 deep watching Ines Gorosategi doing this incredible shadow tennis routine by herself. No coach on the court, just her. She had this incredible routine. It actually changed my life because I saw that and I said, wow, that is what you should do on the court when you're by yourself. And little Evie, she's got matches coming up, right? She had a wild card. Quote of all times, oh, I hope I don't have to play her. I'll never forget it. It was incredible.